We're live.
We are?
Yeah.
What are we doing live?
I don't know.
What's going on, guys?
It changed though, because instead of like it just circles and starts, now it says like 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It's nice that they
it tells you.
Check it out. So
Are you ready?
I got these koozies.
From?
This one is JL Audio.
But I thought that you were a hater.
That hurts so much. It's not
know.
true.
I know.
But anyways, you know.
I mean, we hang out with the jail guys this weekend. That was great. I hang out with Rob, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something about like what's coming out from it now.
Yeah, jail guys don't do great when they're drunk.
They awesome guys.
Yeah.
Love those guys, man.
Dean hates JL. Dean does not hate JL. I hate Arturo. There's a big difference.
What's up, Mel? How you doing? Hey, man, that was awesome. Awesome hanging out with you and
I wanted to get over to their booth.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, Mel. I didn't forget. I need to email you that picture.
Mm-hmm.
I just, with the supposed hurricane and everything we had to do here, it just time got away from me.
Yeah.
So I got a list of crap I need to do the next day or so. So I'll get that to you.
So I actually have a video that I want to make for Mel. So as soon as I have time, I'm gonna send him a message. Or if you have time, just call me later. But yeah, I want to do something. That's really cool.
I'm glad we're safe too.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things always suck. And it's so early in the season, so I know we'll probably have another one. But we got a much-needed day off. Although, instead of resting like I should have, I worked all day editing videos over for Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips. So for those of you guys that watch the live show and have been paying attention to the DSP stuff we're doing with Moscone, I took all of those, re-edited them, added in some graphics, chopped out a lot of the nonsense, as it were, and put those over on Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips, so tens and tens of people can watch them over there.
Yeah, that's right.
I hope to see you guys next Knowledge Fest.
Hey, man,
Lino, we'll be in Vegas, we'll be at Master Tech, and we'll be at SEMA.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I'm pretty sure you're going to be maybe in one of those events, for sure.
There's a possibility. You never know.
How's work at the office doing, right?
You know, now that he works for a manufacturer, he's so special. Yeah, I miss his pictures, though.
Weber fan, thank you so much, man. That was awesome hanging out.
Busy schedule. Always busy.
He said, thank you for coming out to Texas and take the time to talk to me.
Oh, him and his wife were great, man.
Yes, amazing. Yeah,
it was fun.
For a second, I thought he was working for Morel. The reason why, because he had that polo of Morel, and I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, do you remember you guys did my... And I'm like, because I never met him.
Yeah.
He dropped the car off. We work in the car. We're busy. You went outside.
Whose fault?
No, you went outside and gave him the
I always
the
go
demo.
outside and give him the demo. You go. I don't want to meet nobody. I don't want to meet nobody.
No hablo inglés, amigo.
I had a girl say that to me the other day here. She came in our door to the retail door.
Yeah.
She's like, I speak no English. And I'm like, okay. But she managed to carry on a conversation with me.
Oh, hey.
Because I go, the retail store
Spanish.
down past the nail salon. And I had to walk her down there. And she's just like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, what?
What's that, Gio?
What's up, Nando?
Giovanni. Just killing it over there in Cali, man.
I would love to make a live broadcast together one day. Okay.
I
mean.
Yeah, right.
About.
No idea.
Wow.
Español.
Wow. See? Look at Phantom Chris.
Phantom Chris is killing it.
I miss Phantom
Spanish.
Chris.
Yeah, dude. We talk when you guys left.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Pretty much. When you guys left.
Yeah. When we went off to the
your dinner.
With Ricardo.
Yeah. We stayed there. We hang out, and that was great. That was awesome.
Yeah, Jay's tint was awesome. You guys, next year, man. Well, maybe not next year. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Right now, we're not planning on going back to Dallas, but never say never. Just kind of depends on how things go. You know,
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of wussy that Arturo's like right there. You drive.
It's
over.
funny, like Arturo and Christian.
Yeah. Well, Christian's in Louisiana.
Yeah, but he's still like most of the time.
Yeah,
he
but if
comes.
Arturo's not coming, Christian's not coming
Oh.
because they're like connected at the hips.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just that close?
Oh, they're that close.
Ooh.
What's up?
Hey,
What's up,
Fernando,
Ralph?
what's
Yeah,
up, buddy?
what's happening?
Oh man, like, yeah, I'm sorry. I know I have to send you some measurements and everything, man.
Oh,
Sorry.
excuse me, Akron, Ohio. Check it out. Yeah, we did fine. We got some rain, a lot of rain, some wind. Nothing spectacular, other than a day off, which was kind of nice. Oh, look, he's blushing. Arturo's blushing. Hey, man, it's the truth, bro. You and Christian are like, joined at the hip. So maybe they'll fly all the way out to Arizona not to go to Mobile Solutions.
Oh, not to go
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
Motion Pad.
Yeah, that's a good call there. The Mexican brothers only roll together.
That's right.
But he's not Mexican. He's whiter than me.
Oh,
Phantom Chris is whiter than me, bro. I
Chris
didn't
is
think
a Mexican guy.
I didn't think Christian was Mexican.
Huh?
I thought he was just like from New York.
Who?
Christian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was just like from New
Well,
York.
he's not Mexican either.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I have a mid-range and a tweeter on one channel. Tweeter and cap total 2 channels. Mid-range stop playing. Tweeters are fine. Disconnect tweeters and tested them in New York home and they're working. Why they stopped playing? Okay. I have a mid-range and a tweeter on one channel. Tweeter has cap. Total 2 channels. Mid-range stop playing. Tweeters are fine. I mean, I honestly don't know. So the mid-range doesn't play? Is that the question? I mean, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like the tweeters work fine, but the mid-range stopped playing.
So it's...
If that's the case, I mean, do you have a digital multimeter that we can test to see what the ohm load is on the mid-range to make sure that they're still okay? The digital multimeter is usually going to be the tool you're going to want to check these things out to see if you still have, continuity across the coil. Mm-hmm. You can pick up a digital multimeter for $35 at the cheap tool store if you don't already have one. Put it on continuity, and it's going to go beep, or you can put it on ohm, either one.
Yeah.
Just to see if you have an open coil or not, or if it's below really below the 4 ohms it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Mid-range stopped playing. Yeah, so if the mid-range stopped playing,
Okay, so now she just chimed in and says they still work. I test them. So
the tweeter and the mid-range works, the tweeter works, but when you combine the two together, they don't work, or one stops playing, or
what?
Well, I wonder where he has the capacitor, because okay. I bet you I know what's going on here. All right, think about this for a minute. Okay, so if you have... that would be fine. You could put a cap on. I was going to say, if he has them in series, that would be an issue. Like if you positive into the tweeter, negative out, negative to the mid-range, and then, back over.
Yeah, but
like series, that would cross over the capacitor would cause an issue that way. But if you're running it in parallel, that wouldn't cause that problem. That's okay. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Probably ain't good. Probably ain't got no gas in it. Okay. Loose wire maybe. I've got a few of those upstairs. Okay. All right.
I just bought a new car.
I honestly don't have an answer for that one. I would have to see it.
No, I mean, I don't even know where is the mid-range,
Yeah.
Maybe it's some metal or something.
They were playing then the mid stopped, but tested separate, and they're fine. I think they're parallel. I'll double check. No, they're probably parallel.
Right.
it's almost like it's a crossover point. You know, like maybe the mid range is still playing, but the crossover is so high you can't. You know, it doesn't.
But that was working before and stopped working,
Yeah.
or like it never worked.
No, he said it was working before and it stopped working.
There you go. So
That's weird. They were playing and the mid stopped, but tested separate and they're fine. I wonder if one just has like a bad coil, you know, and it's like shorting out. You know?
hey man,
I don't know.
it's
That's
just
a tough
like
one.
a test.
High Five Vega in the house. Tonight is Thursday and we're back.
Today's Thursday. Yes.
So today is Thursday. Tonight's Thursday also. Tonight we'll be back. So over on the High Five Vega Network, we'll be talking car audio and doing all that fun stuff. What is your favorite kind of French fry?
Mine?
Buffalo Wild Wings or Cheesecake Factory style?
I'm gonna pick.
I mean, Hooters are pretty solid.
Hooters are good, but I rather the Chick-fil-A French fries.
So you like a waffle fry?
The waffle fries.
What about a curly fry?
I love curly fries. Yes.
Yeah, curly fries are pretty solid. I mean, for me, hands down, crinkle cut fries are the best.
Okay.
Like, I think the sports bar that we have over here,
Varsity Club.
Varsity Club's crinkle cut fries are the best, man.
Yeah.
That's like
We're not drinking, but when we
that's a
do,
high
we go
point.
into Varsity
that's
Club.
a high point. Like if we're going to Varsity Club, I get a BLT and crinkle cut French fries, and I'm like, oh, waffle fries. That's a deep cut. Yeah, it is. It's a yummy cut though. Curly fries are good. I mean, like Hooters, you just can't go wrong.
Hooters,
The breast fries are mashed. Those would be mashed potatoes. I'm a crinkle cut, fresh cut kind of guy. I mean, I like crinkle cut. Like if that's my preferred. Like if I get crinkle, I also like Red Robin's. Red Robin's has good for the thick steak fries.
They're almost like wedges.
Yeah, but I like them. I mean, I gotta be honest. You gotta be a pretty bad fry in my.
Oh, I love potatoes, regardless of how it is.
It's
Yes.
tough. Okay, so thought about this setup: head unit, Kenwood Exelon, network mode. Okay, LC 61200 on the Alpine, R2 6.5 3-ways, LC 4.800 on the Alpine 2-ways, components. So no, don't do network mode on the Kenwood. That doesn't make any sense. The amplifiers have all the crossovers that you need. So just leave the Kenwood not in network mode, because what you get is a tweeter, a mid, and a sub output, and it's not going to make sense going to the LC 61200 or the LC 4800. Those all have crossovers that can do better jobs. I mean, if I'm going to have that many amplifiers, I still want an external DSP. But if I have to do standalone DSP, I would, because there's limited frequencies that the network mode can cover, and the amplifier will do a much better job at it than the head unit will. Right. So I would
just leave it straight.
Yeah, I would let it do its own thing, because this way, if you leave it alone, like if you're gonna do a 3-way set up front, 2-way set in the rear, you can come front out, set it to 80 hertz, and you'll have the bottom to your 6.5, and then just use the parametric and the 10 times multiplier on the LC to take care of the front, and you can do the same on the D4.800. I mean, personally, the D4.800 for the rear is a bit much. I would go with the ACM
2.300.
No, I would do the 4.300 if you got to go. I mean, I would do a 2.300 and just go coaxials and call it a day. Yeah. But I would look at the smaller ACM amplifier for the rear channels. The D4.800 is a bit overkill in my mind.
Is it 3-way on the front?
Yeah, it says 3-way in the front. So R2 6.5 3-way. So I would still do a D6 1200 because I want all the goods.
Did the R2 are biampable? That he can do?
No, he would do active. But I would do a D6 1200 with the Kenwood radio. I would run the D6 1200 to the front and rear RCAs into that. That way I could run the DSP to the rears, but I'd just use an ACM 2.300.
Yeah.
Coaxial R-types on the rear. There's no reason to do components. That's just overkill. You can do it if you like.
Yeah.
And then I would use the output of the radio for the LC 1500 to control my subwoofer. I wouldn't pass that through the DSP, because if I'm doing the Exelon, I still have enough circuits in there to handle stuff, tools. Arby's curly fries with Arby's sauce and ketchup mix. I like the cheddar for those. Like if I'm getting the Arby's fries, I'm getting cheddar.
For the old bone, yeah, man, you can stop by tomorrow. No problem. We're gonna be here.
We're always here. Originally, it was playing full range. Everything stopped playing, switched to high pass, and only tweeters come back on. I'll test speaker to make sure the coil is okay. Thanks. Yeah, that would be where I would definitely check. Awesome. Thanks for the input. Yeah. I mean, it just seems like there's either
the
crossover point issue. I mean, it happens to the best of us.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean...
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, you put a band pass on the Twitter.
Definitely put a band pass on Twitter, man.
And then you start calling tech support.
And you're like, Nick, what did I do? Yeah. Man, I don't know. You're stupid.
That's right.
I have an ACM 400 brand new.
I know, man.
Here you go. There you go. What are you doing? Cleaning your hat? What hat is that?
This hat.
Oh, is that the Morel hat? You let it get dirty?
It's been there, man.
What the hell's wrong with you?
This hat is so special because it fits me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I can't believe... I would put it in a drawer.
I have another one. I have one at home.
That's so sad.
That they sent me just
because you're you?
Just because I am Fernando.
Okay, what is that?
And Fernando Lopez is talking about the sponsor of the show, that is Morel. MorelHiFi.com. If you want one of these hats, you cannot find it in Morel. But
dude, you make your own self laugh. That's so bad.
I know. You cannot find it there. But go check them out. They have cool stuff in there. And
cool car audio speakers.
Cool car audio speakers and
amplifiers.
Amplifiers and home audio too.
Yeah,
They have stuff.
Who cares
like
about
that.
the home? We just care about the car.
Yes. But go check them out.
Where can they find it?
MorelHiFi.com.
Or you're on Instagram?
Morel_America.
No, they do run contests all the time, and Natasha is constantly giving cool stuff away.
Yeah.
Guys, center channel or just three-way? So, I'm not going to tell you not to do a center channel because, I
mean, if we have the channels out with
why not?
Yes.
But I got to be honest with you. If you set it up right, if you do time delay and all those other fun things for a DSP, which to me, instead of spending money on the center channel, I would spend money on the DSP. I think that's a better place to put a couple $100.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to get a better result that way than just like filling holes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Any new shop updates planned?
Yes.
I mean, other than us just being in the shop consecutively for more than
no, it's
3
plenty
weeks.
updates that we have to do, man.
Oh yeah, well they never end. It's just we haven't had time to deal with them. So
we need like a year vacation to just.
I mean, I don't know because I would never come back.
I'm not saying we have to leave. We have to be here and work in the shop.
We still have to paint. I don't know.
Paint.
We
gotta
spent.
put the metal one. We gotta put
Gotta put a what?
the metal machine.
The plastic bender? Yeah.
The metal bender, the plastic bender.
What if we should build a workbench over there somewhere? Like by the window?
That is a pretty good spot.
It's
Just
a terrible
flip it.
spot.
No,
because we got to figure out where to put the dyno. Like, the dyno just doesn't work there. It's just a bad spot for it because we can't use that area. I don't know. We got a lot of stuff we got to do. We'll figure it out.
I think if we close that thing, it would expand.
6.5-inch coaxial recommendations. If you're just doing a coaxial with no other speaker, obviously buy the best one you can afford. If you're doing a coaxial and you have a component set, match at least the brands. So, for example, like if you're going to do a set of Morel components up front, get some form of Morel coaxial to match it. Otherwise, just get the best 6.5 coaxial you can afford. That's really what you're looking at. I mean, put the dyno near the fire extinguisher. Yeah, no doubt, right? Yeah. I would, but then we couldn't pull a car in because it's over by the back door.
No.
Yeah.
No, we can't.
And I was like, where is the fire extinguisher? He was just here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not for that. We get them as a business. You have to have your fire extinguishers checked on a schedule. So every year they just add it to the list. Yeah, I know. The list is long and painful. I try not to think about it. I mean, I spent a lot of money this year on all the cabinets, all the new lighting, which I think is all the new cabinets. So I think that was a big
investment.
Big update, big investment.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So I don't know what we're gonna do next year. I mean, we'll probably definitely buy some more stuff. I just haven't figured out what yet. So we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how things go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, it would be nice to get like a better cabinet for those.
Maybe like marble floors, maybe.
Marble floors? Yeah, totally get a marble floor. Recommended speakers and subwoofer setup and an '06 Mustang.
Oh man, like you can do.
So if it's an '06, if it has, does it have the little 8-inch subwoofer in the bottom of the door? That's kind of key. If it does, you can do a nice 3-way set. You know, you just got to build brackets to mount the lower where the factory sub is. As far as in the back, typically, like, there's plenty of companies out there that make a 210s box that fit back there really nice. That enclosure, I think we buy one from them. But there's a handful of them out there. But yeah, nice 3-way set. Depending on your budget, you're all good. Maybe clean that ceiling tile around the AC vent.
No, we have to hire some Mexican guys so they can.
Yeah, you know, and that's actually no. Yeah, that's not gonna.
You got to replace the whole.
Yeah. It's not. I don't get it. I don't get to take the ceiling with me when I leave, so I really don't care.
No, I mean you just paint it.
Yeah, I'll get a can of white paint.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll buy a can of white paint. We'll fix it all up.
That's it.
Yeah, there we go. I'll add that to the list of stupid stuff I have to do. Yep, that'll work. Good call. Yeah. Tape it off. Nah, screw it. I won't even tape it off.
Tape it. Just leave
I'll
it
just
like
spray
that.
paint
Just
it.
spray paint it.
Make Fernando work in some toe shoes for a week. Nah, dude, those things are... Dude, you gotta understand, those toe shoes are expensive.
I can't.
Way too expensive. Any experience with the OEM sub and the new Big Bronco? As in, it's a subwoofer.
Yeah.
It's B&O at that case. If you're trying to...
The module.
If you're trying to swap subwoofers out, or it's, I mean, you're not going to get anything bigger in there than an 8.
Nope. Nope.
So SRQ Customs makes an enclosure box for that. Mm-hmm. JL is currently making one, although apparently they don't like it because it looks ugly.
Who?
JL Audio. They have a stealth box for that.
Yeah.
He was talking about it. He doesn't like the way it looks. Don't like it. It's because it looks bad. But SRQ makes an 8-inch box for that. I think you can fit like an L7T 8-inch in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look who it is.
But is it Morel? Oh, hey guys, you missed the commercial. Hello from SoCal. What's happening? All right, did that. Sorry. Do you think Kenwood or Alpine would ever work with Apple to do Spa? I don't know what Spa is.
Spatial audio.
Spatial audio, maybe. I would never say never because Alpine has worked with Apple before. Mm-hmm. So like the ILX, what was it? The ILX 107 or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
That was all Apple. Like Apple 100% was involved in the development of that. That's why it was so unlike every other Alpine ever out there.
Nobody liked it.
That's why nobody liked it. And it had some really basic ass features in it that nobody kind of could understand why Alpine would do that, and that was because they worked with Apple on that. So
specifically for
as far as like working on spatial audio, I mean, we need to see it come out of the phone better first, I think, because like it doesn't do a really good job of like CarPlay. So until we get that figured out, I think that's more the problem because
you need like an adapter that actually.
Well, they just need to open it up so that like
who's going to open it?
Apple.
Apple?
Yeah. Well,
okay,
no, but why
luck.
No, they would. There's no reason not to. I mean, there again, Apple likes money. As long as they made a certification process where you can play spatial audio, then why would you not?
Nobody's gonna pay it.
Kenwood, Alpine, they'd all pay it. Oh, totally. They're already giving them a ton of cash now. What the hell's the difference?
They need more cash.
No, they would do it. They would do it in a minute. Non-B&O. Okay, so if you got a Bronco with non-B&O, first things first, there's a couple of things that you need to understand about adding amplifiers to that. If you're planning on just adding a subwoofer, make sure you go to the front speakers. Don't go to the rear speakers. The front speakers are where you're going to attach to. If you're going to re-amplify the whole system, you want to look at something that is SBS, compatible. There's two amplifiers right now that are SB compliant, and that is Helix and Moscone. Okay. The reason for that is that uses a new style chip for American cars. It's been available in German cars for a long time, and that's why those two companies are hip to the game as far as SB compatibility. Those two amplifiers will easily go into the Bronco, take care of that factory resistance and all the fun stuff that it's doing, and allow you to do whatever you need there. Now, if you're more of I want to do something a little bit more basic, you need a 10 ohm resistor. Right now, there are no pre-made 10 ohm resistors. You'd have to go with 2 sets of the audio control LGD greens wired in parallel with one another because they're 20 ohm resistors to get a 10 ohm resistor. I would strongly recommend going either Moscone or Helix for this because you can just go high level into those amplifiers and their circuit will take care of it and sound amazing. Do
this again? No, do this?
Yeah. Anyways, so that's kind of where you're at on that. As far as adding a key lock wouldn't be a bad idea if you're just going to add a subwoofer to it, like a key lock. It's trying to fit something into that small spot. Still stays the same, SRQ or JL Audio. There are some other companies that are making general boxes for that. It's a really small area. The last one we did, what did we put in that one? We put a real sub in there.
No, that was the audio control.
No, we didn't put there was no audio. There was no audio control in that Bronco. That was the Helix amp with the Rockford amplifier. Yeah. What subwoofer did we put in? Oh, we put the audio control. We put the Stinger sub on the back door.
Dude.
Yeah, but it's a Stinger box with the audio control subwoofer. But you weren't answering the question, bro. So Stinger makes the 10-inch enclosure that goes to the back door if you want to hang someone from the back door.
Yep.
So there's that.
Hang something.
That's really what it comes down to. Speaking of Natasha. Will Spotify ever finally release high res? I've been waiting years at this point. I thought they already had high res. All you had to do, go into the phone and activate it on the Android stuff. Can I add a DAC to my system? I have the audio control D series amplifiers. So none of those amplifiers have like a Toslink input. That's only on the external DSP. So if that's what you're thinking, like digital in, none of those have digital in. So that's a no for right now. Stinger Bronco box 2. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Where were you when you were just arguing, huh?
Oh, no.
Why can't you guys be in Los Angeles? Because we don't like earthquakes. Natasha, Dean said that you can get me. No, I didn't. Sound Advice has in the now dysfunctional company that was owned by Tweeter. Sound Advice actually was a standalone company long before they were owned by Tweeter. Tweeter was the last company to own them before the whole thing went out of business. They had like 35 stores here in Florida. They started down in the Miami area, store number 1. I've been there. It was a neat place to go back in the 90s and early 2000s. Lots of neon and lots of white acrylic.
Which one? Sound Advice or Tweeter?
Sound Advice.
Oh.
Tweeter was a bigger store that came in and they wanted to get into Florida, so
Did they ever had like a subwoofer?
No.
Store?
No.
Mid-range?
No. But they all had the Clarion 32-inch subwoofer on display.
Oh, very nice.
Tweeter was just the name of the store, man. It was okay. You're welcome. 12-inch sub on the Bronco, 10-inch. Oh, is it a 12-inch sub? I don't know, man. It's a sub. What? Exactly. Sub. Is it a 12-inch? Why didn't you speak up, man? Okay, so it's a 12-inch sub on the Bronco backdoor box. Which company makes a 3-way component with an 8-inch mid-bass speaker? So Morel has the Elate Carbons, which has a 9-inch mid-bass. So it comes in a couple different configs, but the Elate Carbons is you have 2 different tweeters to choose from. There's a mid-range. There's also a dome mid-range, but you can buy the set with the big tweeter.
What about the new 8-inch, and then you just buy the mid-range?
What are you talking about? No.
This one?
No.
Why not?
It's not made for that.
Why is not made?
It's not made to. It's not the mid-range is a mid-range, it's not a mid-bass. So it's not made to play that way.
The 8-inch is not a mid-bass?
That's not a mid-bass, that's a mid-range. That's why you have a mid-range a mid-range that plays not deep. Okay, so it's not like going with just a straight inch mid bass. So with that small magnet structure, it's designed to play up to the tweeter. So because that tweeter plays down to like 2200, the mid range is designed to play up to that and then down to not full mid bass. So it's like a 6x9. It's not like a 9-inch.
I mean, 6x9.
Yeah, but I mean it's like everyone else's little 8-inch. Like when you look at like the Focal. The basic Focal comes with this tweeter and an 8-inch. It's an 8-inch mid-range. Not like 2.5-inch, but it's not going to play deep like a mid-bass would. Like that Elate Carbon is a mid-bass, man. That thing drops.
Well, I mean, that's a bigger, of course. Yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying, though, it's got a bigger magnet structure.
I don't know. We got to put it on and see how it sounds.
It sounds good. Yeah, okay. I need a sub for my Honda 2020. 210s, 112. We put the Zen enclosure box in that. We'll do most of the time we do 112 ported, I think. Lots of P3. So here's the thing. When we put a subwoofer in a trunk, especially if it's firing back, we always ask the people what they're going to be putting in their trunks. And a lot of the times, they're going to fill their trunk with their life. So we like things that have big mesh grills. The speakers we sell with mesh grills are Alpine, Rockford, and now Audio Control. Kicker, unfortunately, has that spoked grill, which, though will block bigger stuff, we found that some of the people in their lives, lots of shoes. I don't know what it is about shoes and trunks, but a lot of shoes get through that big metal spoked grill they have and kind of ruin the subwoofers. And I don't like that because I don't want to have that conversation with somebody, so... I used to work for Sound Advice back in the early 2000s in Orlando. There you go. Sound Advice people were always interesting.
Yeah.
Mustang has the 8-inch speaker. It does have the 8-inch speaker, but it's not really an 8-inch, and you're gonna have to make some bracketry if you're planning on keeping that grill. So a lot of the times, what we do in that case is we go with a 6-inch mid-range and a tweeter, like a nice 3-way set. 2006. Morel has a nice 3-way set in the Maximo Ultra 3-way set, which is really nice. You could put the mid-range and the tweeter up where their 5x7 goes. You could go Focal. Focal makes the Access. They also make the what's the cone? The
Flax?
Yeah, Flax. Sorry. So. But yeah, the 8 is it's kind of a weird sized 8, so don't grow too attached to that. You're better off trying to fit the 6-inch in there and make the grill work. What's up from Iowa? You need to give me a call so we can figure out what we're doing in your car. All right, so see Casey's trying to chime in and be like, that 2.5 will work. Yeah, sure it will, but then you got to go full active. So.
Well, I mean, that's the point.
Hey, Brian's in the house.
Brian.
What's up, Brian?
Let's talk about 3 ways.
No, let's talk about a 6.5 and a tweeter. Like his truck has a 6.5 and a tweeter and kills pretty much most 3-ways on the market because he's awesome. Yeah.
Well, but that's Brian.
Yeah, I know.
See, Brian doesn't count.
I have Kicker Q Classics and I'm trying to get a mid bass. Aren't we all? Because there's really nothing that kind of works with that. More mid bass, the better. Correct. So get the go with the Elate Carbons, 9-inch. Elias, what's happening?
Brian with a Y.
No, it's Brian with an I.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is tomorrow afternoon or Saturday a better time to call? Just call me tomorrow. There's never a good day, so just call me tomorrow.
It's never a good day.
There's never a good day. It's never a good day. Hey, listen, guys. Tonight, as I said, Hi-Fi Vega. We're going to be there. We're going to be answering questions. We're going to have a good time. That's it. That's all I got. We're going to head out. Fernando's going to go put his hat somewhere. It's going to get dusty again. And you guys have a great rest of your night. Make sure. Hopefully, we'll get to see you
tomorrow morning
on the
9 a.m. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's why we're sitting here. We got the news all set up and ready to go. So we can, and then we know there's going to be a ton of news. We might have to just save some stories for the week after.
It's going to be tons? There's not going to be enough. Nah.
No, I talked to her. She's
like, Jeff?
I've got tons of stories.
Really?
Bye, Jeff. All right, guys.
I'll see you tomorrow, guys.
See ya. What do you need lemon for?
Just a drops of lemon.
Oh my God. Dude, that is not the same. I have a bottle of that at home. I've never used it.
Really?
I used it once and I was like, I'm done. Yeah. Oh man, dude, it's like making my eyes water from over here.
No,
Yeah.
that's good.
No, it's not. It's not.
It is.
It's not. You want to pull this thing around after? Yeah. All right. Yeah. You want me to talk about it first? What's up, everyone? How you doing today? It's Saturday. Just those of you that are just tuning in. Hi. How are you? Working on a Ram today. We just finished it up. Do a simple base upgrade package. Fernando's fuse holder, of course, is mounted very nicely underneath the hood. And let's take it very nicely. Base knob went in right there.
Best part of this install is my bass.
Base knob.
It's my
Subwoofer. The best part of the install? I don't know. I mean, and then in the back here, this is the new Kicker Comp RT loaded enclosure that they make. So it has a 500 watt amp built into it. This is the 10-inch version, so it's just like the regular RT, just it has this little amp here in the side. So you could slide it over and take it up. So here's what we're looking at. You have a 10-inch passive radiator. And it just slides up underneath the seat. Obviously, there's enough excess braided loom so he can move it wherever he would like. Now, some of you guys that do this, and you're like, hey, the power light is on, radio's off. And that brings up an interesting question we get asked a lot of the times. And that is because this is using what is called DC offset. DC offset. What is DC offset? I was getting ready to explain that.
Oh.
So DC offset is a 6-volt DC carrier wave that gets put through the AC signal of the amplifier. They built a circuit. What's that? How do you test for that? Dude, are you going to stop eating those chips and come over here? Or are you going to yell from across the room?
I can.
I mean, you're already sweating. You've only had 2 chips. Look at this. He's already glistening. Literally, he's already glistening because he's had 2 chips. Anyways, DC offset. If you take your digital multimeter, set it to DC, because remember, sound is AC, so when you're measuring the output of an amplifier, you're going to use AC. Set it to DC. Take test lead, number 1, red. Put it to any speaker, positive or negative, doesn't matter. Just go to one test lead, one wire on the speaker. Take the other test lead of the digital multimeter and go to ground. That means, because I probably bungled it up, red goes to positive or negative on the speaker, black goes to ground. DC on the digital multimeter, turn the car on, or it might already have 6 volts. If it does, you're golden. It has DC offset. That's what you're looking for. It'll eventually go to sleep once the car goes out. But keep in mind, these radios now are like computers. And when you're turning on and off the radio, you're really just turning on and off the display screen. So that's what's going on there. We're working on a Dodge Ram, as said. So this is a cool Dodge Ram. And I want to slide this forward for you because there's one other thing in this Dodge Ram that is of note. Grab me the bag, will you? The bag out of the trash can. Yeah. No, it's right on the top. I love power seats because they go so fast. All right. So you guys are familiar with the term ANC, or automatic noise canceling. That's what it actually stood for, but a lot of manufacturers are just calling anything that adds some form of noise into the system, like fake exhaust noise or anything like that. They're just all calling it ANC. Dodge has ANC on pretty much all their vehicles, all the Rams at least. So we'll say Rams have it, because now Ram is kind of defined all by itself. It's not technically a Dodge. Anyways, so if you have a Ram truck, underneath the seat here, there's this guy. Now everyone kind of looks at this and says, oh crap, that's like an amplifier. And in fact, it is not an amplifier. However, it does have a big heatsink because audio is passing through it. See this big white plug here, and there is another plug right over here. This is the second harness to this. Now this black plug plugs into this module, and this harness plugs into this module. And what it's doing is the sound is coming from the radio on this, and it is going into this and then out to all the speakers, and that is what's adding that fake noise into it. So PAC makes this piece here, A and C CH1, and that allows you to bypass it, because when adding a subwoofer, if you don't bypass it, you're going to get that obnoxious growling, it's going to sound terrible and go nuts. What's up, Bobby from Disneyland? So you add this T-harness to it. The nice thing is that when you add the T-harness to it, it does give you all 4 pairs of speaker wires. And especially with something like this, where you're just adding a subwoofer, if you grab the front door speakers, one or both, doesn't matter, that is going to be your subwoofer output in a Dodge. Do not, whether it's a Ram, a Challenger, Charger, any of the cars, doesn't matter, ever grab the rear speaker as your high-level output to go to a subwoofer, because it is actually not the subwoofer in the car. It's a mid-range. Even though it's a 6x9 in the front, 6x9 in the back, 6x9 in this truck are technically the same speaker, the signal going to this has more bass than the signal coming to this. We've actually showed that in the video that we did for the IRTA2, when we have the video that's like, how do I test to see which speaker I should connect to? We show you the front door and the rear door of a Dodge Ram so that you can see that there is a difference. Okay, hey Dean. You once said that the Mosconi Pro 430 was the best AB amp you ever heard. What DSP was hooked up to that, and how much will that affect the sound of the amp? Also, what speakers were on it? So that particular amp was in Fernando's car, which is the Lab, and at the time he was running the Ground Zero uranium speakers. Yeah. We've had 4 different amplifiers we've tested on those uranium speakers. One of them is the uranium amplifier, which is a class AB right here. So we were running this amplifier, and this is a class AB with variable bias. The 430, which looks similar to this, channels 1 and 2 are a high biased channel, so they're A up to a certain point, and then it slides over into AB. Some technology that these amps don't have. And we've done some D-class amplifiers in there as well. So it wasn't the only AB class amplifier we've had in there. DSP-wise, there was no DSP. It was directly out of the Sony GS9 into the 430, out to the speakers. We were using the passive crossovers that were built into the amplifier because all we were doing was testing the amplifier. Now, if you're looking for a DSP to run on that amplifier, I would strongly suggest going with the Mosconi DSP. Either the 8 to 12 or the 6 to 10, I believe they make. It's a 6 to 8. Either way, they have a 6 to something. I would recommend going with one of those. Obviously, they're made by the same guys, so they kind of know what's going to get hooked up to them. Or you could just go with the 830, which has the Aerospace 8 to 12 built into it. It's also AB. Not as good as the 430, because the 430 is specifically designed to be what it is, which is totally different than anything else in the line. It's different animal altogether. Yeah. It's like I said, those 2 front channels are basically A up until a certain point, and then they slide to AB.
And I captured that animal. And it's in the trunk.
Yeah, he won't take it out of his car. I'm like, dude, it's got to come out. We got to put something else in there. And he's like, yeah, no, it doesn't. So that's also one of the reasons why you haven't seen a Lab in a while.
I really appreciate you, but no, thank you.
Yeah, so it's very good. What's the term called LED again, where the 5 volts is used in the signal to act as... It's called DC offset. So in the remote turn-on game, there's 3 different types of remote turn-ons, and they should be labeled as remote turn-on, 12 volt, signal sense, or DC offset, which might just be called offset. Signal sense is looking at AC. It's looking for a fluctuation in AC, and it has a timer built into it. So once it starts to see AC pass down the line, it will automatically trigger the amplifier, and it has a timer because it needs to see a certain amount of AC voltage, and usually has a timer. A good one will have a timer because you don't want it to shut off at like a quiet point in the music. That was the problem with the first generation of signal sense way back in the day, long before most of you guys were even... It was a long time ago. And so what would happen is that the music would shut down, like go to a quiet spot and the amp would shut off. So it was basically useless. So they finally figured out, hey, if we had like a delay so that like it doesn't shut off, that would probably solve that problem. Oh, hey, magical. So it's a pretty solid circuit in most applications now. Good situations will have all three that they're looking at, where you have signal, 12 volt, DC offset. So, Dean, all about that bass. You know it, bro. You know it.
So about the bass.
I'm working on a car today. I'm working on a car today, too. Well, there you go. Christian, is probably your car. Would you have an idea of why a SCAR 3.5 would act like it's not getting enough signal? It's been fed by an audio control 61200 and it's giving signal. The sub loses 90% of the bass and the bass knob is unresponsive. Well, I mean, that's like where do you begin? Do you have voltage? Have you checked the voltage at the amplifier? So definitely check voltage at the amplifier. The bass knob, if we're talking about like the ACR3 bass knob that it comes with, you could just have a bad ACR3 volume knob. If you unplug it, if it's adding any problems to it, the subwoofer should go back up to normal levels. Check your crossovers to make sure you don't have the 10-time multiplier switch turned on, the front two channels of that, if that's what they're connected to. If the D, just check your crossover point in the software. Because on channels 1 and 2 of the LC61200, there's a 10-time multiplier switch. And if you turn it on, it's going to take every channel and multiply it. So if you cross it over at, let's say, 350, it's going to cross it over at 3500, which means it's just going to become a tweeter and you're going to get no mid-range out of it, which would suck. And that could possibly explain why you're not getting any sound out of it. Other than that, make sure proper signal routing. But I would start with the voltage for sure. This is the white Chevy with the...
No. This is a Dodge Ram.
Yeah, this is just Dodge Ram with a Comp RT amplified box, for those of you guys coming in late. So we just got done installing a single amplified kicker box that they make, the new downfiring Fernando's fancy fuse holder. The kicker bass knob. Underneath the seat is the ANC bypass plug from PAC, which is also where we can grab our speaker wires from. And then this is the kicker Comp RT amplified 500 watt enclosure. It is on an umbilical cord, so that gets tucked up into here. That way he could slide the box back and forth, depending on where he wants to put it. And there is a single 10, so the box slides easily. So we have a single 10-inch driver here, and a passive radiator here. It's on these nice feet. And the truck application, you do get to see the kicker logo here. Typically in the hatchback, this is going to sit the same way because power wires typically down driver, and they only put the logo on one side. So you don't get to see it in a hatchback or in a SUV or something like that because the logo's on the opposite side. It's kind of a bummer. But that is what we got going on in the install bay today. Does speed control volume compensation SVC matter when setting gain? Should it remain disabled? Honda Accord 2022. I always turn that thing off. However, it has a max volume, meaning it can't go any louder than what the maximum volume of the stereo can go to. Correct? Right? It's not like it's an amp on top of an amp. And when you're not moving, it's not working. Right? So it's just volume that works. As the faster you go, it gets louder, which to me is like the most annoying thing ever. I would want it to go the other way. The faster I go, the quieter it gets, so I can pay more attention. But I know I'm weird. But no, it will not have anything to do with the gain. I like to have it off when I have a system because I don't want anybody screwing with my volume knob, especially if, when you start amplifying these things, you get lots of power in there. The last thing you want to do is you have it at the sweet spot and you're going fast and it's getting louder on you. That sucks because you could blow some speakers. So that's why I always recommend turning it off. When you got 15 watts and that's it, yeah, it's pretty cool, but not when you got 1,000 watts or 2,000 watts. But no, it won't affect how your gain works because you're not moving or going anywhere. So but just turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
How is Fernando going directly from his phone to the amp to bypass Bluetooth?
No, it's going
How's
from
Fernando?
the phone to the camera connector to the GS9, and then the GS9, the signal goes back to the amplifier.
Yeah, so the Sony GS9 is the hub. And the phone, like the Sony has Bluetooth.
Yeah.
The GS9 does have Bluetooth, but when you're when he wants to do critical listening, you could plug in through the Lightning adapter, and it's okay. But there is an option for a digital in on the front of a GS9. So if you get the camera kit, which is Lightning to USB, which gives you a direct output, so it doesn't pass through the audio portion of the iPhone. So from there, you can get a digital out to, you can get the uncompressed digital out into the radio and the radio's DAC and then take over. Good question on the volume compensation. My Audi Q5 has it too. I hate it. Oh, it's so annoying. That's one thing I like about like cars that we can integrate a DSR1 into. Like a Dodge Ram, like if this was going to do a whole stereo. And that's why like the Jeep Wranglers, we always talk about doing, you can't do in your Audi, I apologize. But with the DSR1 and a lot of the applications, we can reprogram that feature to be punch bass, which is really awesome. And I think in the Arc Audio PSM Pro, you can use that to turn on EQs 1 and 2, which is pretty cool, right? So it's nice that we can repurpose that useless feature. Once the truck resets like a few hours, it's fine. What were we talking about there? What was Daniel talking about? I missed the beginning.
This car.
That is weird. Wait a minute. So, that was the box.
Car.
Yeah, so this is the white Chevy. What was the first part of the question? Would you have any idea why the SCAR 3.5 would act like it's not getting enough signal? It's being. Okay, so that. All right, so no. Voltage. That would be voltage. Going back to that, because I didn't read the first part of that and know the second part of that, but no, that might be voltage, because you have that spare battery. I would just check all the battery voltage and make sure everything's doing what it's supposed to. One of your batteries might be getting low. Yeah, because if everything works fine in a couple, after a while, then it could mean it's getting charged back up. Check your voltage, and if not, give us a call and let's get it in here and figure it out. Good question. Okay, that is so weird. But on the Audi, you can go into the head unit settings and turn it all the way down, which is essentially off. Yeah, that's good. Custom 12-inch subwoofer box. How thick does my fiberglass layer gotta be? I honestly don't have an answer to that, man. I haven't built a fiberglass box in years, so yeah. I mean, I used to do. So I was in a hurry when I did mine, so I would actually make my back panel, because now everyone's really kind of figured out a good process, and they do like tape and like they add in, so I would do one of two things. I would actually make it out of box carpet, because it would take so much resin into that, it would just soak up and it would be like a 1/4 inch thick, which I think is probably where you want to be. Or if I was just using fiberglass, I would mix it with Bondo and make like a paste and put that on the inside of it to get it thicker faster. But yeah, that was a long time ago, so I haven't done it in a long time to know how thick it needs to be now. Okay, cool. Let me know. Have you seen the Stag SQ8 and Audio Frog 8? The cone are identical, same factory, I'm guessing. I mean, anything's possible. I remember when Andy was making that, he showed us a prototype like years ago at one of the fests. He had a non-working prototype there. So, and he was 3D printing some of it. So, I mean, anything is possible, man. Anything is possible.
Oh, yeah.
Any 8-inch shallow mount subwoofer you can recommend? if you have the room, the L7T 8-inch, a pretty badass little shallow 8-inch. They even sell that in their loaded enclosures already. You can buy it already done if you want. But no, I mean, if you can fit the square, that's the one to go with.
Shallow 8-inch.
Yeah, L7. Yeah, the L7T.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which one are shallow. Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many of them. I mean, everybody makes one, but like one that's actually gonna put out a lot of bass is that one. Would the Fosgate T1 10-inch in a sealed box work for an SQ sub? Don't know. We only put them in ported enclosures. Yeah, I have no idea. We put that in ported enclosures because we're buying it to be brutal. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Why? I mean,
Sajeki had ported and sealed just to test.
Yeah, but he wants loud, boomy bass.
No, man. I know, but like he wanted to test. The difference between it, and I guess you can.
I have no idea. I have no idea. You would have to map it and see what it looks like, and then build it, and see if it actually
Yeah,
that would
for sure.
Yeah, what's up, Haley?
Hey.
Hertz shallow is pretty good. There you go. Yeah, check out the Hertz. I haven't. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm making an 8.
Hertz make an 8? I don't know either.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But you know what?
What?
Mel had those 6x9 subwoofers.
Oh yeah.
I like I say.
Wanted to hear them? Or no? So Mats is making a 6x9-inch woofer.
They already have it.
So they have it. So it's an actual woofer. It's not like you can't put it in the door. It's like 4.5 inches deep. The idea behind it is to get a bigger subwoofer underneath the seat, like when you're doing that front firing box. Bigger than an 8-inch, but not the height of a 10-inch. So I know MTI made a box at Knowledge Fest for 2 of them.
4 of them.
Was there 4 of them?
4 of them.
I never got to see it. Yeah. So they had 4 6x9s in it. And there again, it's a true subwoofer. It's not a door speaker. You can't put it in the door of your car. It needs an enclosure. It's an actual woofer that just has the frame of a 6x9 on it. So I'm curious to see how well that turned out.
Yeah,
that would have been cool. But yeah, so that's Mats, by the way. If you wanted to go check that out and see what that looks like, it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's big magnet, all that fun stuff. So pretty exciting.
Very.
So it's like 4:22 right now, guys, and we're gonna set up and we're gonna go live at 5.
Ooh.
So
look at that.
Yeah, we're just gonna go live at 5. I'm gonna hop into the interwebs right now and change that so that you guys will get the notification, or not. But yeah, if you guys want to tune in to the YouTube show, as always, we'll be doing that. We're gonna do it at 5. So I'm gonna let you go so I can get set up. How do you use the DD1 on a fully active system like 40 hertz on mids, bass? I tell you what, that's a wonderful question. If you want to, you can ask me on the live show, and we'll kind of dig into that because I need to get this done, and that one's going to take a couple minutes. So, but yeah, we can talk about that if you like.
Don't forget, guys, this show is brought to you by MorelHiFi.com, where you can find all the stuff about Morel, car stereo, and more. Check it out here on Instagram, Morel_America, guys. See you guys soon. Bye.
What he said. Live at 5. See ya.